Ever since I've been associated with this sector, I've been told that India's estimated reserves are something in the vicinity of 42 billion metric tons of oil energy equivalent. Mahua, between 2006 and 16, we had almost given up completely on the exploration and production. We had stopped E&P. For a variety of reasons, the contracts didn't do very well or whatever happened. There was litigation. We restarted. So this year ONGC has dug something like 500 wells. This is the highest number of wells in 37 years.
Welcome to the Secretariat. Today we have with us Mr. Hardeep Singh Puri. He is Union Minister for Petroleum and Natural Gas. Welcome to the Secretariat, sir.
Thank you.
So let's start with Mr. Modi's visit to Canada. Can we now hope for a sort of a rewind in relationship between India and Canada?
Most definitely. He's had a very successful visit to Calgary for the G7 summit. There are many highlights of that visit, but I would rank the bilateral meeting with Prime Minister Carney very high on that list of positive outcomes. I want to start by quoting Prime Minister Carney. He said that I'm honored to work with India on issues relating to artificial intelligence, energy, and the anti-terror fight. Now, as you are aware, the causes for relationships going sour or getting derailed can be many. But in the Canadian context, let's let the past, the bygones be bygone. But the fact that both sides have agreed to reposition their respective high commissioners in each other's capitals is a clear sign that we regard this relationship of great value, and that now this relationship will be on the mend. I expect improvements to take place in the shortest possible time. I'm not suggesting that those who are trying to derail the relationship will stop, no. But I think after a realization of what international terrorism is, and there are false narratives which can stand out. Obviously, this discussion has to take place anchored in the rule of law, and I think those discussions are ongoing. And I'm very confident that very soon the relationship will see dramatic improvements.
The free trade agreement that India and Canada were looking to ink, now that has been paused. Do you think this will also set the ball rolling for resuming talks for a trade?
Well, I should like to think yes, but I'm not in a position to give you an assessment of what the timelines are. You know, the fact of the matter is that India and Canada have a bilateral relationship, trade in goods over $8-9 billion. That itself is not insignificant. And then if you add to that the other aspects of the relationship, you have a million-strong Indian origin community there. There are other commonalities. You know, we have share so much in common. And I think going forward, it's a promising relationship which had got derailed. If once we can resolve those issues, which I think we've made a good beginning, trade naturally will follow. But you know, I'm a former trade negotiator. I spend more time in dealing with trade issues than perhaps any other single issue. And it's very difficult to predict how long a trade relationship will take. Our negotiations with the European Union are going on for a long time. We've concluded one with the United Kingdom. We have one with, we have SEPA with UAE. So you have to make an effort, but these are things worth pursuing.
So coming to the oil reserves discoveries, you've been talking about the sort of discoveries we are close to discovering huge oil reserves in Andaman Sea. Now that could be a game changer. Along with that, we have small pockets of oil reserves also which are close to being discovered.
Now when you start digging wells, we've had open acreage licensing policy. This is the 10th round going on. Some of the discoveries which we are making now, when I talk of a discovery, what does it mean? That you dug at about what, 2,000 meters, you found some oil. Now the exact estimation of that will take time. Let me give you a some estimation on quantity. India currently consumes 5.6 million barrels a day. Currently, I saw an estimate by the International Energy Agency. It said by 2030, India will be consuming 6 million plus barrels a day. This is today's estimate. Now, what is the largest producer of oil? Let's say the United States, 13 million barrels a day. If you take 13 million barrels a day into 365, 4 billion barrels. Now, some countries have a philosophy that if you've got oil reserves, utilize them as quickly as you can. I think the US would roughly fall in the category of we have oil, let's go. Some others are saying no, let's keep it, let's keep the production limited so that if you limit the production, the price will be up. Some of the OPEC members have that approach, therefore they limit it. But today, I can tell you with reasonable certainty, more and more oil is coming on the international market. So, Guyana also, they found the discovery, but the oil is not really going to come on the international market in very large quantities till 26, 27. Right. So I was telling the Guyanese, listen, do long-term contracts, because by the time you say that your large quantities are coming into the international market, people may have tied up elsewhere. You have this Andaman Sea geographical spread going from Indonesia, the archipelago there. Oil has been found in several places. It stands to reason that this is a resource which freely migrates. Gas, oil, they will migrate. We've got wars fought on that. Okay. Now, if you have found in those details, we found in 1 million, in one place where I remember clearly 5 million metric tons of oil equivalent. Another one, 8. So if you add all this up, the figure is not that much, but it's not insignificant. Now, you are drilling at 2,000 meters, then you go deeper. Today, 4 places ONGC is drilling stratigraphic wells in the Andaman, where they're going down to 5,000 meters. I give you an example. In Assam just now, there is a gas leak. Yes. They didn't know there was gas there. It was an used oil field, an ongoing oil field. They were trying to locate, and there was so much gas there that's coming out with the pressure. Now, the point is, in this game, you have to persevere because each oil well costs a lot of money. Now, in the case of West Bengal, if you strike oil, the revenues will come to you. I mean, you are the primary beneficiary there. ONGC spent what, 1,000 crores in West Bengal. I kept writing letters. I'm very happy. Finally, the petroleum mining lease has been given. So, land is a state subject. There are these now. We've got a new law. Earlier, the law was a 1948 law which covered both coal mining and other mineral mining and petroleum leases. We've gone from production sharing to revenue sharing. We've opened up 1 million square kilometers out of our 3.5 million square kilometers of sedimentary basin. Why? Because it was a no-go area earlier. Defense, DRDO, Coast Guard all wanted to hang on to it. So we have done all that. That's why I said I am confident that there is several Guyanas out there, but reaching one Guyana, if we continue this level of this thing, it's expensive business. An offshore well digging costs $100 million each. An onshore one will cost much less. It will cost $3-4 million, but still a lot of money. But the fact of the matter is, there people tell me that the Northeast is swimming in oil and gas. Yes, we have. The oldest refinery was there. Some of the new finds are there. Krishna Godavari Basin, ONGC struck something. We were expecting 45,000 barrels a day. We are getting 35,000 barrels. So it's a new narrative. And I have no hesitation in putting this out based on current facts and the expectation that when you go from 2,500 meters to 5,000 meters, you will continue to find a resource, and then you can do a better estimation at it.
With Israel-Iran war kind of a situation, what impact do you think it's going to have on
very little
crude oil price?
No, on supply, very little. Prices also, I don't know, because it depends on, different scenarios. So far, in the 50 years that I'm aware of, some of those supply routes have not been closed. It's not in the interest of Iran to close them. It's not in the interest of big buyers like China to have those routes closed. So my scenario one is if the supply routes remain open, clearly you don't have much to worry about. There's no shortage of oil in the world. There's enough oil. More and more oil is coming on. Only problem can be if supply route is closed, then the supplies have to be rerouted through longer distances, leading to more enhanced freight costs and enhanced insurance costs. Currently, the price is what? About slightly over 75 today. But I expect prices to remain between 70 and 75, if not lower. I don't expect them to go up. The reason is that even if they go up in the short term, because there is an escalation or something happen, there is more oil available, there is more crude oil available, and there are several diversified suppliers. For instance, I buy 5.6 million barrels a day we consume. The amount that comes through this supply route which could be affected is about 1.5 million or so. But then I'm getting stuff from 4 million from elsewhere also, and I have my own production. And if something happens, we also produce and export. Maybe if push comes to shove, we will consume more of our own produce. So I'm not unduly worried about that. But my concern is that for all economic processes, and these are not confined to the oil and gas sector, you need regional and global peace. You need things to calm down. Yeah.
So what about the ethanol blending program?
We've done well. We've gone from 1.4% to 20%. I think we have the potential to take it well beyond that. But it requires a discussion with the stakeholder. Those discussions have begun because you have to decide how much the blending in the base fuel will be. I see 100% ethanol availability, which is at 400 retail stations, that to increase. But the base fuel today is blended at 20%. Do you want to make the base fuel available at a 25% blending or more or less? We'll have to see that.
When do you think the second phase of this program will be announced?
It's already in process. We will be able to announce it. First of all, you need assurance on supplies.
Right.
I think since we are adding to the income of our farmers, I think my reading is that by ethanol imports, Sal, we've saved what, 1,50,000 crores already. So that money goes to the farmer. So if we can continue that, I think we are in the happy situation of the ethanol. It's one of the most successful programs of the Prime Minister. And I would like to see that continuing.
So 11 years of Modi government, and what have been the ups? What have been the downs?
And
also the downs.
They're phenomenal. If you look at the progress itself, since we don't have all the time in the world, I would say the fact that your economy has moved from 10th position to 4th position, it has moved from a $2 trillion economy to a $4.3 trillion economy. That is Exhibit A. In the process, you brought down multidimensional poverty by something like 279 million people. You've taken them out of poverty. The poverty rate has come down from 27% to 5 point some percent. This is huge. This is absolutely huge. Women's empowerment is another area we should be really proud of. All the schemes, if you build toilets, who benefits? The girl child, dignity of the girl child. Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, in whose name is the title of the home, the name of the lady of the house. So you're going from women-centered development to women-led development. These are huge developments. The first and foremost challenge is that these schemes of the Prime Minister are all based on solid economic thinking. That they are actually enhancing productivity. I mean, it's the difference between teaching somebody how to swim and giving people free fish. But in a society like ours, which is diverse with many challenges, you will have a problem. Some people will want freebies, and then they run out of money. The fact that you're growing last quarter at 7.4% tells me we must be doing some things very well.
You're a union minister handling a very, very key portfolio. Which of the two roles do you think has been more appealing, more challenging?
No, they're all equally. I mean, no matter what task is assigned to you, I mean, in the Council of Ministers, 7 years I was with Housing and Urban Affairs. 2 years I was with Civil Aviation. Some of the toughest 2 years. 2 years of Commerce and Industry. I was Minister of State, and 4 years I've been here in petroleum. Whatever is given to you, as long as you approach that with the serious professional approach, I mean, it's very satisfying.
Right, sir. Wishing you all the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you.